The most expensive World Cup, who's paying all this money? One football match, one ticket, but that ticket could cost nearly $16,000. Can you imagine that? The 2026 World Cup is set to become the most expensive and highest earning World Cup in history. But the question is, where is all this massive money coming from? Who's paying it? And where does it ultimately end up? In today's Explainer, we'll break down the real economics of the World Cup. From ticket prices to broadcasting rights, from sponsorships to stadium construction, and most importantly, who's really footing the bill for all this extravagance? FIFA, governments, or ordinary fans? Let's get started. Part 1. Why this is the most expensive World Cup. The 2022 Qatar World Cup was called the most expensive World Cup in history because Qatar poured enormous sums into building its entire infrastructure from scratch. Stadiums, metro lines, hotels, entire cities redesigned. But the 2026 World Cup, jointly hosted by the United States, Canada, and Mexico, is being considered the most expensive and highest-earning World Cup ever for a different reason. No new stadiums needed to be built here, since all three countries already had major sports venues. But the tournament's scale has been expanded so dramatically that both costs and revenue are breaking records. This year's World Cup features 48 teams playing 104 matches across 16 cities. FIFA's president himself compared it to 104 Super Bowls. Every extra match means extra broadcasting, extra advertising, extra sponsorship, and extra ticket sales. Part 2. FIFA's revenue numbers. Let's get to the real question. How much money is coming from this tournament? FIFA set a revenue target of about $13 billion for the entire 2023 to 2026 cycle. From the 2026 tournament alone, FIFA expects to earn approximately $8.9 billion. The largest share of this massive revenue comes from broadcasting rights, worth nearly $4 billion. Next is sponsorship, expected to bring in around $2 billion. The rest comes from ticket sales, hospitality packages, and licensing. The scale of this growth becomes clear through comparison. FIFA's total revenue from the 2022 Qatar World Cup was about $7.5 billion. In 2026, that number is set to exceed $13 billion. Part 3. Why ticket prices suddenly skyrocketed. For the first time, this World Cup is using a dynamic pricing system, similar to airline or concert ticket pricing, where prices rise as demand increases. As a result, even a regular group stage match ticket now starts at several $100s. The most expensive final tickets are reaching several $1,000s, with some semi-final tickets seen priced between $10,000 and $15,000. Many fans and analysts have questioned this pricing structure, since similar seats cost several times more than they did at the 2022 Qatar World Cup. FIFA hasn't hidden this. In fact, they're presenting it as proof their new revenue model is working. In short, these sky-high ticket prices are largely a strategy to secure a major share of FIFA's income. Part 4. For the first time, who bears the risk? This is where the 2026 World Cup differs from every previous edition. In the past, each World Cup was run by a local organizing committee in the host country, which bore the costs but also shared in the profits. This time, for the first time, FIFA itself is directly running the entire tournament. Instead of national football federations, FIFA is contracting directly with host cities. This means FIFA controls all revenue, broadcasting rights, sponsorships, tickets, hospitality, while cities and states are left holding the costs. Many economists compare this to a franchise model, where the franchisee spends the money to run the business, while the parent company sits back and collects the profit. According to New York City's comptroller's office, even if FIFA delivers its full projected number of tourists, the city's additional tax revenue would be at most about $55 million. Meanwhile, the city's additional costs for police, emergency management, and small business support could reach around $70 million. In other words, even under the most optimistic estimate, the city stands to lose money. The picture is similar in Canada. According to Canada's Parliamentary Budget Office, the total public sector support for hosting 13 matches could amount to roughly CAD 1.06 billion, averaging about $82 million in government spending per match. So it becomes clear, the bulk of the revenue goes into FIFA's pocket, while the bulk of the costs falls on taxpayers. Part 5. Who's paying for the stadiums? Stadium construction and renovation costs are another key part of this World Cup. Even though no new stadiums had to be built, everything, the pitch, dressing rooms, media centers, security systems, had to be upgraded to meet FIFA's standards. Los Angeles' SoFi Stadium tops this list. It's not just the most expensive venue at this World Cup, but the most expensive stadium ever built anywhere in the world, costing around $5.5 billion. Interestingly, almost all of that money came from private investment, straight from the stadium owner's own pocket, not from taxpayers. A similar picture applies to New Jersey's MetLife Stadium, which is hosting this year's final, also largely privately financed. But not every stadium's story is like this. Many older stadiums, like Mexico City's Estadio Azteca or Kansas City's Arrowhead Stadium, were built decades ago with public funds. And now public money has once again been poured in to upgrade them to FIFA's standards. So even with stadiums, there's a clear divide. Venues owned by private billionaires had their costs covered by those owners themselves, while venues owned by cities or states left ordinary taxpayers footing the renovation bill. Part 6. Why sponsors are spending so much. FIFA's sponsorship structure has been made far more flexible this time. There are now 3 tiers: global partners who appear across all FIFA events, tournament-specific sponsors, and country-specific supporting partners. New global partners joining this World Cup include Saudi Arabia's state oil company Aramco, Chinese tech firm Lenovo, and a new prediction market platform. Companies like Verizon, Bank of America, and Unilever have also joined as sponsors. Analysts estimate sponsorship revenue alone could reach around $2.4 billion, about 37% higher than in 2022. FIFA says this will be the highest sponsorship revenue ever recorded for a single sporting event. Why are these companies spending so much? The answer is simple: the World Cup's audience size. The final alone can reach billions of people worldwide. No company wants to miss the chance to showcase its brand to such a massive audience. Part 7. Broadcasting rights and advertising numbers. America's Fox network bought this World Cup's broadcasting rights for a price about 94% higher than in 2022. Of the 104 matches, 70 will air on their main channel, with the rest streamed on their digital platform. Even the hydration breaks during matches have become major advertising opportunities. Adding up this break time across the whole tournament comes to several hundred minutes, and the ads shown during that time could be worth more than $500 million. A genuinely staggering figure, since it exceeds Fox's entire broadcasting rights deal. Britain's ITV has announced it won't run any ad breaks during its coverage this time, a policy quite different from many other broadcasters around the world. Overall, media rights revenue could reach around $3.8 billion, about 22% higher than the previous cycle. Part 8. How much goes to players and countries? A portion of this enormous money from fans and sponsors also goes to the participating teams. Total prize money is set at over $900 million, the highest of any World Cup ever. Every participating country receives a minimum of $15 million just for taking part. The champion team could receive around $71 million and the runner-up around $47 million. Additionally, under a separate FIFA program, clubs that sent players to the World Cup are also being compensated around $5,000 per player per day. Part 9. The overall economic impact. According to FIFA and its appointed economic research firm, this World Cup could have a total global economic impact of around $80 billion. The US share of that alone is about $30 billion. It's claimed this could create around 824,000 full-time jobs and boost government tax revenues by several billion dollars. But here, a crucial question arises. These kinds of massive projections don't always match reality. Independent economists have repeatedly shown that the pre-event economic impact estimates for major sporting events often fail to materialize. Actual figures for hotel bookings and tourist numbers frequently fall short of expectations. The U.S. hospitality sector has already expressed doubt, noting that hotel booking demand appears lower than projected. Part 10. So where does the money really end up? Let's look at the full picture. In this World Cup's core financial structure, FIFA itself benefits the most, controlling all revenue from broadcasting rights, sponsorships, and ticket sales. Host cities and countries bear the costs of security, transportation, emergency services, and infrastructure upgrades, while their potential tax revenue often falls short of covering those costs. Billionaire stadium owners built massive venues with their own investment and retain ownership of those venues. Sponsor companies are pouring in hundreds of millions of dollars for global brand exposure, hoping for long-term market expansion in return. And finally, there are ordinary fans, whose pockets are the most direct source of money flowing through this entire system, through sky-high ticket prices, travel costs, and ad-filled broadcasts. So, what's the real story of the most expensive World Cup? It's not just a story about football. It's the story of a massive global economic machine where the flow of income is concentrating in the hands of a single organization, while the risk of costs is spread across countless cities, states, and ordinary people. Football may still be played on the field, but the real game is being played in the ledgers. What do you think? Is this massive financial imbalance fair? Or is it a structure designed for the benefit of just a few? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, like it, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more explainers like this.